Do you think you are just cooking for your family? Think again. If you make these 4 mistakes, you are conducting a chemical war on your table. These harmless seasoning jars under high heat transform into silent killers. They do not kill you instantly. They erode your blood vessels and wake up cancer. Normally, your blood flows like a peaceful river, delivering life to every cell. But your daily habits are about to change this internal landscape forever today. The inflammation begins quietly, a hidden fire sparked by common ingredients. It turns smooth vessels into sticky traps, narrowing the path for life-giving oxygen and nutrients. This jar holds more than just flavor. Under the wrong conditions, it becomes a vessel for toxicity, slowly poisoning the very people you love the most. Every meal is a choice between health and disease. Are you unknowingly feeding your liver the precursors to malignancy while simply trying to season your food? I have seen the results in the lab, and they are terrifying. The damage is cumulative, building up until the body can no longer fight back. Time is running out for your arteries. You must understand the science behind these 4 habits before the damage to your liver becomes absolutely irreversible tonight. Habit number 1 is the sweet trap. Many people caramelize sugar for color or add it to high-heat braising without knowing the hidden chemical dangers. When sugar burns, it creates ages or advanced glycation end products. Think of these as molecular glue that sticks to your vital organs and destroys tissue. These molecules act like tiny shards of glass, scraping the lining of your arteries. Your blood vessels lose their flexibility, becoming as brittle as dry wood. Your DNA is the master blueprint of your life. Ages act like vandals, breaking and rewriting the code, which can trigger abnormal cell growth in GAN. The heat doesn't just change the flavor, it changes the molecular structure. This sweet addition turns into a biological weapon that your liver must eventually process. We treat these substances with caution in the lab, yet we pour them into our cooking pots daily without a second thought for our health. Every time you smell that burnt sugar aroma, remember that you are witnessing a chemical reaction that can lead to chronic inflammation and cellular mutation. The liver bears the brunt of this sugar-induced assault. It struggles to detoxify these compounds, leading to fatty deposits and the early stages of liver disease. This concentrated sweetness is a metabolic nightmare. It bypasses normal digestive checks and goes straight to damaging your vascular system and your liver's delicate cells. If you continue to cook this way, you are accelerating your biological clock. You are literally aging your internal organs, from the inside out, with sugar. The cumulative effect of ages is one of the primary drivers of chronic disease. It is a slow process, but the destination is always the same. Break the habit of high heat sugar use today. Your body does not need the color or the flavor at the cost of its very structural integrity. Awareness is the first step toward healing. Once you know the danger of burnt sugar, you can never look at a caramel sauce the same way. Your cells want to survive, but they need the right environment. Stop flooding them with burnt toxins and give your liver a real chance to recover. Simple. Changes in cooking temperature can save your life. Learn to control the heat, and you control the chemical fate of your family's future health. Mark this term. Ages, it is the enemy of longevity. Avoid high heat sugar, and you avoid one of the most potent triggers for systemic vessel inflammation. Take control of your kitchen. Your health starts with the ingredients you choose and the temperatures you allow them to reach during the cooking process today. Habit number 2, using forgotten spices or oils. These damp, dusty jars in the back of your cupboard are hiding a very lethal secret substance. Under the microscope, this is aflatoxin. It is one of the most powerful liver carcinogens known to science, and it thrives in improperly stored spices. When you see that faint cloud of dust or a hint of mold, you are looking at millions of spores that are resistant to normal cooking. Heat. Aflatoxin doesn't just make you sick, It issues a summons to your liver cells to transform into cancer. It is a persistent and invisible biological assassin. Reusing oil is just as dangerous. Oxidized fats and mold toxins combine to create a toxic soup that overwhelms your liver's natural detoxification pathways quickly. Your liver is a silent worker, but it cannot handle aflatoxin. By the time you feel the pain, the damage is often already well beyond repair. Watch how the liver changes under constant exposure. It loses its smooth texture, becoming scarred and riddled with tumors that grow silently over many years. When was the last time you checked your spice rack? If you can't remember when you bought it, it is time to throw it all away. I want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me how long those chili jars have been sitting in your kitchen. Let's start a conversation. Even the hardest spices like peppercorns can harbor toxins if kept in humid conditions. Moisture is the fuel that allows aflatoxin to build its kingdom. In our tests, we find these toxins even in spices that look fine to the naked eye. The danger is microscopic, but the impact is massive. I see the victims of liver cancer every day. Many of them never smoked or drank, but their kitchens were filled with these invisible toxic killers. The liver is your body's filter. When you clog it with mold toxins, the whole system begins to fail, leading to a cascade of health crises. Transition to fresh ingredients. They provide the same heat and flavor without the risk of long-term storage toxins that ruin your liver's health and vitality. Store your spices in a cool, dry place. Use small amounts and replace them frequently. This simple kitchen hygiene is your first line of cancer defense. Nature gave us flavors that heal. Why settle for old, dusty powders that kill? Choose the path of freshness for the sake of your family's liver. Remember that name. It is not just a word, it is a threat that lives in your kitchen. Protect yourself by being vigilant about spice quality. Habit number 3. Adding MSG or bouillon at the highest heat. When the temperature exceeds 120 degrees Celsius, the chemistry of flavor changes for worse. Above the critical temperature, glutamate transforms into pyroglutamate. It is no longer a flavor enhancer. It is a metabolic irritant that stresses your entire system. This chemical transformation puts an immense load on your liver. It has to work overtime to filter out these altered molecules, causing chronic internal inflammation. It is not just the liver. These compounds can cause your nerves to fire excessively, leading to headaches, heart palpitations, and a feeling of general malaise. We call it the death temperature for seasonings. You think you are making the soup tastier, but you are creating a chemical cocktail that harms vessels. Many of my patients wonder why they feel tired after a home-cooked meal. Often, it is the result of these seasoning errors causing vascular inflammation. Your arteries react to these chemicals as if they were invaders. The constant battle leads to the buildup of plaque and the narrowing of your bloodways. The rule is simple. Turn off the heat before you add the seasoning. This preserves the flavor and prevents the dangerous chemical shift from happening. Why rely on processed chemicals when nature provides such vibrant alternatives? Herbs added at the end are safer and provide much better nutritional value for you. When you stop the chemical assault, your liver can finally catch up. It is a resilient organ, but it needs you to stop the constant poisoning. Wait for the temperature to drop. Those few minutes of patience could be the difference between a healthy meal and a toxic burden for your heart. Cooking is an art, but it is also a science. Respect the ingredients and the temperatures, and your body will thank you with years of health. Your vascular health is in your hands. Every time you season your food correctly, you are protecting the integrity of your entire circulatory system today. Discard the reliance on heavy processed flavorings. They are shortcuts that lead to long-term health detours. Your liver deserves much better than cheap chemical substitutes. Do not let the convenience of a flavor packet blind you to the reality of liver inflammation. Be the guardian of your family's health every meal. A truly good meal should make you feel energized, not heavy and inflamed. Proper seasoning is the key to that feeling of natural wellness and vitality. The timer is ticking on your health habits. Make the switch to low-temperature seasoning now and stop the silent damage to your liver and vessels. Finally, the most common habit, excessive salt and processed sodium. Salt is a magnet for water, pulling it directly into your delicate blood vessel system. The pressure spikes like a flood against a weak dam. Your blood vessels are under violent attack, being stretched and scarred by every extra grain of salt. Your heart must work 3 times as hard to move this fluid. It is an exhausting marathon that eventually leads to heart failure and severe liver congestion. 1 small spoonful of sauce can contain your entire daily limit of sodium. Are you tracking the salt you add, or are you flying blind? Excess sodium traps toxins in your body by slowing down the liver's ability to process waste. It creates a stagnant environment where diseases can easily thrive. Imagine a river overflowing its banks, eroding everything in its path. That is what high salt intake does to your internal biological architecture every single day. The numbers don't lie. High sodium is the fast track to hypertension, stroke, and cirrhosis. It is a silent killer that works through pure physical pressure. Your taste buds have been hijacked by industrial levels of salt. It takes time to reset them, but your life literally depends on making that adjustment. By reducing salt, you give your vessels a chance to heal. The pressure drops, the inflammation subsides, and your liver can finally breathe easily once again. Use acids like lemon or high-quality mineral salt sparingly. There are better ways to make food delicious without destroying your cardiovascular health in the process. Balance is everything in biology. Too much salt is a poison. The right amount is a nutrient. Learn to find that balance for a longer life. Protecting your liver and vessels is not difficult. It starts with how you hold that seasoning jar and the choices you make at the stove. Less salt, more herbs, and the right temperature. This is the formula for a clean vascular system and a vibrant, cancer-free liver for everyone you love. Share this video with the person who cooks in your home. It might be the most important medical advice they ever receive in their entire life. I am Dr. Kent, and I am here to help you live healthy from your own kitchen. I will see you in our next life-saving journey. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into your health. Your journey to a better life starts with one small change in your seasoning habits today.